Good morning and welcome back to For the One, a leadership conversation where we are privileged here at the 10 Memorial to be joined by friends with and all around the 10 Memorial community to talk about all things leadership in hopes that you will feel encouraged to take the next step in your personal leadership journey. Today, we are so thrilled to be joining you live from Laurel Valley Golf Club for year 2 of the Junior. Now, before we get to some very special guests, Chuck and Tommy and I are thrilled to share a little bit of history about the Junior. Chuck, why don't you start? Tell us, what is the Junior?
The Junior, wow. Well, speaking of leadership, the Junior is unapologetically an event about leadership, celebrating the student leader, even over the leaderboards. And this is year 2. We're thrilled again to be here at Laurel Valley. Unbelievable scenery, and couldn't be more excited to watch the young people in our world tee up for the second round today. The Junior started last year in 2025, and we had an amazing group of young people playing 2 rounds of stroke play. We've quickly become nationally recognized. We've got partnership with the American Junior Golf Association, with National Junior Golf Scoreboard, and maybe the coolest part of the Junior was last night. And we've got the fireside chat, having over 225 people join us for a conversation about our 4 pillars: youth, golf, education, and faith.
So you, as a Nettles family, are not unfamiliar with Laurel Valley Golf Club. Share with us a little bit of history. What's the connection about this historic place with your family?
Yeah, well, our dad grew up about 12 miles over that hill, and he used to joke that he couldn't even drive past Laurel Valley, and it was such a special place to him. It was his favorite golf course. Our grandfather actually worked here for a year when he was in between jobs one summer in 1961. Laurel Valley opened in 1959, and so our family being from the area, I played for the first time here with my dad. He wasn't a member, but this was a really special place for him. He told me when I was first starting out in business that you always had to have your bag packed in case you get the last minute invite to Laurel Valley. So to be able to share this with many families in the area, this is a really special thing.
That's so special. And Tommy, we've talked a lot about how we've tried to make this weekend a little bit different than any other golf tournament on the junior golf circuit. Talk a little bit about what makes the Junior different.
Yeah, well, there's a few components, and namely the mentor caddie program, which we're gonna see more of today, and that comprises of men and women in our community that will pour into the boys and girls junior athletes this afternoon on the golf course, and that's designed to build lasting relationships, which we think is one of the greatest things about the game of golf and what it's all about. Also, Chuck mentioned the fireside chat and being able to pour into the juniors and their parents about our 4 pillars. Professional headshots, which is kind of a cool thing that we don't see very often on the junior golf circuit, and our ambassador program, where we identified 6 boys and girls that really embodied what we think the 10 is all about, and they helped select our field and put together a great week.
So we talked about how magnetic this has become even in year 2. How many applications this year for the field?
I think it was 250.
Amazing. And how do we whittle that down? Because we feel like everybody's deserving of a place here at Laurel Valley. What does it look like to whittle that down, the components of the application process, to get to the 72 that are selected to be here with us on a weekend like this?
I heard that Ashley Stevens hand selects every one of them.
Oh, goodness. I would have all 250 of them here, that's for sure.
Well, our selection committee definitely has a difficult job, but it comprises of 2 components. One, their past tournament accomplishments over the past several years, locally and nationally, but also what they're doing outside of golf. What they're doing in their communities, what they're doing in their schools, what they're doing is part of giving back. So the selection committee takes all of that into consideration.
Yeah, I think it's been a unique journey for us to share with people about the balanced approach to being a leader both on and off the golf course. And the way that we were able to celebrate that with each of these families at the Fireside Chat is through something we call the Impact Award.
Yeah.
So share a little bit about the Impact Award.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that this event was highlighting not just the leaderboards. Of course, there's going to be a fun trophy ceremony this afternoon, but the Impact Award really highlights one male, one female who are making a serious impact in their community. Somebody that's led where their feet are from a young age, have created something, and last night was a really special example of that, again, with JoJo and with Cameron. And you read these stories of what they're creating in their communities, and it's overwhelming. It's inspiring for our generation to see what these folks are doing at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. And I think that was probably the hardest part for the selection committee, which, by the way, is anonymous. We will not release the name of the selection committee. But not only did they have to filter through incredible golf resumes, but they also had to be paying attention to what were these folks doing in their communities, what are they leading in, and just an amazing, inspiring group of young people.
Yes, I do not envy the job of the selection committee.
I don't either.
So a lot of special elements that make all of this come together. And as we explore some guests over the next several minutes, I think it's important to talk about what goes into making an event like this happen, because it's not one-sided just from our team. It includes amazing people all around Western Pennsylvania. So we're excited next to have a behind-the-scenes look of what it looked like to prepare the junior at Laurel Valley with our friend, head professional, Chris McKnight, up next.
Well, it wouldn't be a Laurel conversation if it wasn't having Chris McKnight on our podcast. And in my eyes, and I know a lot of our community's eyes, Laurel Valley is synonymous with two people, Arnold Palmer and Chris McKnight. Chris has been an inspiration in our lives for a long time. We knew him long before he knew us, which is probably a common thing in the community. And Chris, you just exude the spirit of Laurel Valley. And as a friend and as a mentor, first and foremost, thank you for making this possible, for being our friend, for regularly encouraging us, and also maybe keeping us out of trouble on occasion.
Chuck, I don't know where to begin. I've never been included with Arnold Palmer before, so I certainly appreciate that comparison. But that's something that I try to live what Mr. Palmer stood for each and every day. And we look at Mr. Palmer's statue down there by the golf shop, and I know that he is looking down upon us, and for us to be able to host this event. This event means so much to me personally because of the friendship I have with all of you. And he would be thrilled. He loved kids. He knew that's where the game of golf begins. And he would just be over the moon knowing that Laurel Valley hosted this event. So we appreciate the opportunity to be able to do it.
Well, 40 years, you've seen a lot at Laurel Valley Golf Club. You've seen the golf course have some tweaks done to it. We have a little freer sight lines behind us today, and you've also mentored and worked with probably 100 different assistants and staff members. Talk about what this place means to you.
Well, this is not just a job to me. Obviously, I get the opportunity to be here each and every day, and looking over our shoulder, you can tell how easy it is to drive into Laurel Valley and just immediately have your blood pressure, just lower. And I know Mr. Palmer and the founding members, that's what they wanted. I mean, this golf course was designed to do a lot of corporate entertaining and to bring your best customers and your clients to Laurel Valley and to be able to do some business out here. And the setting kind of built itself. If you look at the Laurel Mountains in the background. So every day I drive into work, I never get tired of it. Yeah. Driving up the driveway with the pine trees and just the iconic entrance. So it's not a job anymore for me. This is a way of life, and I'm very fortunate to be able to come here each and every day.
And knowing that, how Laurel Valley was founded and what its purpose was for, also has a steep championship history.
Yeah, we've done some things over the time, Tommy. Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, started, and Mr. Palmer was very instrumental in getting all of these events to Laurel Valley. So, 65 PGA that Dave Marr ended up winning on the last hole against Jack Nicklaus. I mean, that was certainly iconic. I know everybody thinks I've been here forever. I was not here for that in 1965, let me tell you that. And then we did the team championships back in 70 through 72. And the Ryder Cup in 75, this building that we're next to was built solely for the Ryder Cup. Wow. Just to house some of the pros and to do the dinners. So this is the Palmer Pavilion, so amply named. And after that, we did the 89 Senior Open, which was won by Orville Moody. And then we did the Marconi, Pennsylvania Classic. So nobody really remembers that name of that tournament, but the tournament itself was known specifically because it was the first PGA Tour event back after 9/11. And it was a surreal event, I got to tell you. Some people know, but maybe not many, that Flight 93 flew right over Laurel Valley when it crashed in Shanksville. And many of the people here that day got to see that plane fly over.
Wow.
And Shanksville is 15 miles away. So, that was a surreal day. I remember it like it was yesterday. And so what I remember mostly about it is the opening ceremony. Beautiful sunny day, sort of like this, fog in the morning. We had a bagpiper walking up the first fairway, playing. We had the first time the American flags were flying on the golf course. That was at that event. Wow. And I get goosebumps thinking about it right now. And so after that, we did the 2005 Senior PGA, won by Mike Reed. He was 3 shots down on the last hole.
Wow.
Made an eagle. Jerry Pate made a bogey. Went in a playoff. And, so keep playing, Tommy. You never know. You never know what's going to happen on the last hole.
Hey, you never know when it's going to be your time. That's
exactly.
Right. That's
So,
right.
I remember coming to a couple of those events with Dad and actually with Chad for the Senior PGA. We were old enough to drive then. The pros talk about Laurel Valley in high revere as well. And, you talk about some of the greats that have played. Most of the greats have played here. Tiger Woods was here that was an exhibition, right?
It was the Arnold Palmer Hospital Gala, 1997. Davis Love, Tom Lehman, Mr. Palmer, Tiger Woods. And what's great about that event is 1997 was the first year that Tiger won the Masters. He was just fairly fresh. It was in August, so he was fresh off that victory. And then Davis Love iconically won the PGA at Wingfoot that year, like the week before. And I don't know if you all remember, you're all so daggone young, you make me sick. But there was a rainbow in the background, if you all remember that. So when he was making his last putt, they had the rainbow in the background.
My biggest recollection of...
I don't remember that, for the record.
There you go.
Yeah, you were real little.
Yeah, you were little.
My biggest recollection of that day was that Route 711 was backed up all the way to Donegal, and Dad was a little impatient getting here. But
really,
that was a special day.
We should have given him a special flag to get him in here quick.
Well, now we have 72 student athletes teeing up today for round 2. They're playing for a lot, but they're also, in our eyes, playing for more than just a leaderboard. They're making an impact in their community. You have a special job today, along with Ashley Stevens, and last year you blessed us by starting the student athletes on the first tee, and you're going to do that again for the boys today on number 10. Talk a little bit about what this event means to you, and what do you think is going through the minds of these young folks?
I mean, I was thinking about it this morning. When I was playing junior golf, I never had an opportunity like this. I was just trying to find somebody who would drive me to the golf course, for heaven's sakes. And you have put on this production, your group, and you should be so proud of what you have created here with this 10. Everybody that comes, I mean, the rules officials that we've had, John Reck and Johnny Clinchock, have come up to me both and said, "Thank you so much for hosting this event." I said, "It is our honor, and what you and Ashley and Tommy and the whole board and everything have created is something I'll never forget. This is something we can put on our board and revere for our lifetime." So what it means to me is it's so special, and to be able to be around these young people, these future leaders, and what they are going to do in their future. I mean, I've talked to many of them, and they're just impressive people. And again, it's just our pleasure to be able to do it.
Well, you're an incredibly humble servant of this game, and you've made a massive impact on us. And we talk about you almost every single board meeting, committee meeting that we have, that this would not have happened if it wasn't for you. And you've been the at the heartbeat of this event since day one. So from all of us on the board and the family, thank you for making this possible and being an inspiration in our lives.
My pleasure. Tommy, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
You need to throw on an orange coat and get down to the tee.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Chris, thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Tommy.
Yes, thank you.
We talked about some of the special elements that make the 10 Junior unique, different, special, and one of those being the Mentor Caddy program. We wanted to highlight one of our Mentor Caddy pairings, student pairings this morning, and talk a little bit about what makes that program so special. And we couldn't think of anyone better than Austin Schawl and Andy Miller, who really exuded that presence on the golf course last year and the last 365 days, developing a relationship on and off the golf course. And we thank them and excited to have them with us here before Austin tees it up for round 2. Well, we talked a little bit about the Mentor Caddy program. One of the things that makes the Junior truly special and different, unique from any other nationally ranked junior golf tournament in the country. And this was an idea that was born out of a committee meeting. And frankly, we weren't really sure how it was going to work the first time we put it into action. And so this is the second iteration of that. Last year, it was the most incredible part of our tournament. The Mentor Caddy program takes friends, leaders, business leaders, faith leaders, golf leaders from our community and pairs them with each student athlete in the field. And in doing that, we were able to, in certain times, match career professions and aspiring students, what they intend to study in school. And so we prayed over these lists of names and we matched them up. And last year, probably the most impactful aspect of our tournament was this day 2 Mentor Caddy program, where we had 60 mentors matched up with 60 student athletes. And this year we have 72 of those matched up with student athletes. And speaking of how it worked, last year it worked wonderfully. And today we're excited to share a couple stories about that. Maybe the greatest example of the Mentor Caddy program was our friend Andy Miller and Austin Schawl. Just a quick background here. Andy Miller is a longtime friend of the Nettles family. He was friends with our father and knew him well. He's also one of the few that have been at every single 10 Memorial event, both our fall event and the Junior here. Andy, we're so excited that you're with us, and we thank you for making the trip from Tampa, Florida, to be a part of this. We also have Austin Schawl, who's a great player in the community and about to graduate, right?
Yes, sir.
And about to go to school at Penn State Altoona.
Altoona, that's right.
Yeah. So we wanted to have them on this morning and just share a little bit about their experience. I'll start with Andy. Andy, you've been a part of the 10 Memorial since day 1. Just share a couple thoughts that you've had about the last 7 years of your experience with us.
Well, Chuck has been amazing, actually, and both the big tournament, as I call it, the Memorial in the fall, and now the Junior, I think it just really represents the Tim Nettles that I knew and grew up with it, and career-wise, and spent 40 years, knowing him as a friend, and I think he'd just be exceptionally proud of what's going on in the fall and now the spring.
Thanks.
So it's been a lot of fun to be a part of, and what you guys are giving back to your community is just amazing.
Well, you've been a big part of that give back. Your presence here has been a huge gift to us, and you were friends with Dad, and you've been a mentor to many, including me, from day one. I remember when you showed up at the funeral, and
Yes.
You've had a big impact on my trajectory since. So I thank you for that. Speaking of impact on trajectory, we got to spend some time with Andy over the last year, and he shared some of the stories that were coming out of a relationship built with Austin and his dad, Justin. And Austin, tell us about, number one, when you heard that a non-professional caddy was going to caddy for you last year. Was that like the first time you've experienced something like that?
100%. The first time that it was just going to be someone that I didn't know who was going to caddy for me. And I was also slightly worried. I'm coming out here to this nice course and a little worried, like, you might not know the course exactly. Didn't know really what to expect, but I couldn't have been more blessed with the best mentor caddy. I mean,
awesome.
It's amazing. Andy's such a great guy.
Talk a little bit about that round last year.
Yeah, so what happened was in my first round that I played with the Laurel Valley caddy, I saw him walk with my dad, and I just thought maybe it's another parent. Then after the round, he comes and sits with me and my dad at the fireside chat and the dinner, and come to find out, he came all the way to watch my whole round. He took notes for me. He came onto the range, was helping me with my swing, and that's just truly just sparked what I knew was gonna be a great relationship, because there's no one else that I saw out there that was going and doing that for their player the next day, and it truly just showed that how much he cared, really.
How have the two of you and your dad stayed in touch since last year?
So it's funny, so every once in a while, so we've been texting, but every once in a while I get a package in the mail. And a lot of times it's a book by Dr. David Cook, who was on the video on the fireside chat yesterday. But it's just a book, a note that, says that he's keeping in touch, he's watching my leaderboards, and it just truly means a lot. So he's keeping in touch with my father, sending me packages, and really showing that he cares. And it's crazy because we just met last year, and I already feel like I have someone who's in my corner that much. It means a lot.
It's awesome. That's awesome. We've had so much fun following the relationship. And speaking of impact, Andy, you've got a lot on your plate. You had a long-time executive at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. You chair your Young Life board in Tampa, Florida. You've got friends and golf trips and an incredible family that you're following around the country. What is it that leads you to pour into somebody that you met just a year ago?
Well, only the game of golf. I mean, do you interact with generational people, whether it be teenagers or middle-aged or seniors, as we like to call ourselves? And when I learned how to play just up the road in Erie, and as I became a competitive golfer, I mean, I remember a number of city tournaments that I played in where I was paired with people 2 or 3 or 4 times my age. And watching them and how they managed, themselves on the golf course, not their golf game, but how they just managed, and how they interacted with me was something that helped me become a better young man. Certainly how to manage myself and my emotions. When you have bad days, you got to manage your emotions on the golf course. And so this, when I heard about it and you invited me up to do this, it was something that I felt was, something very natural, because I had experienced it a long time ago. But, those memories of those two, I'm thinking about 2 people that made an influence, not just in my golfing life, but also where I was going as a young man, my next step into college, that type of impact.
It's awesome. I think about you a lot. I know we might go a month or 2 without texting or calling, but I have to tell you, when you think about the people that have made an impact in the trajectory of your life, I think about you often. And I'm really excited because I know you're doing the same thing for him. Yeah. In fact, we would have never met Dr. David Cook, our last guest, if it wasn't for you and your introduction to the JPT crew that you've been a part of for so long. So from the Nettles family and the 10 Memorial, thank you for being a part
thank you
of this and impacting our lives in a big way. Austin, you've got 18 holes left, and you've got Andy on the bag again today. What are you excited about for the next 4 hours here?
I mean, this is the most excited I've been for a tournament round in a while. Just me and Andy keeping in touch. We played around freezing cold round at Indiana Country Club yesterday, and just knowing how much he cares. He was out there taking notes on my round today. I'm just excited. You know, I want to play well, but no matter the outcome, I just know we're gonna have a great time out there, and we're gonna keep the vibes high. So
That's
I can't
awesome.
wait.
Is this your last junior golf tournament?
This is my last junior golf tournament I have on the schedule for now. So, but it's a great one to go out with.
Well, we're rooting for you, and we're excited for you to soak up every step out there. Proud of you for leading where your feet are at all times,
I appreciate
and continue to encourage you to lean into the wisdom of Andy and your dad, and we, again, positive generational impact. This is the greatest example of that. So thank you both. Good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Make some birdies, one shot at a time, right?
100%. We're gonna do our best out there today.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it wouldn't be a 10 Memorial event unless we had Mom on to drop the mic. Diane Nettles joining us here on the podcast, and we had an amazing conversation last night with 3 friends, and we also had a word from Mom, Diane Nettles, and we're excited to have her recap that. And Mom, thank you so much for being an inspiration in our lives and being the rock of the 10 Memorial. Well, the 10 Memorial would not be complete unless Mom had her mic drop moment, and we had another one of those last night where Mom shared with 72 student athletes and their families. Mom, you continue to inspire each and every one of us. First and foremost, Tommy and I think Tommy's catching some of the inspiration. We gotta work on him a little bit yet.
Yeah, it's yet to be known.
Yeah. We love you, and we're so thankful that you've allowed this to come to life. We talked last night about you being the rock of the 10. Just, if you don't mind, recap a little bit about last night, what you saw, what you felt.
It was an amazing evening, as I fully expected it to be, because you've worked so hard to put this together, to bring in some. It's so inspiring to bring in these youth, people who are just starting out, just like the two of you did so many years ago, and they have their whole future ahead of them, and they are leaders, and they are excited about being here and thankful and grateful. It just warms my heart to even be part of it. And so that, when I looked out at the sea of faces, I thought, oh gosh, I've got to keep this together because I wanted to cry, but it was amazing. Awesome. What you pulled together is absolutely, it just touches my heart.
Well, what we've pulled together, you've been at the center of all of this, and we started this journey together in your kitchen almost 7 years ago. And when we were having that conversation, did you ever think we'd be on the back porch of Laurel Valley looking over this beautiful golf course?
Absolutely not. I never imagined. I think that what is really exciting about what you've done here is it does go above and beyond what a normal youth tournament does. We focus on student athletes, young people who are truly future leaders. Yeah. And we try to cultivate that. Yeah. I'm excited for them because of their game of golf, but I'm more excited for them because of what their future holds for them, and what their future holds for us.
And obviously all of the student athletes are excellent players, doing a lot of good things in the community and in school. What advice would you give to parents? Because when we were growing up, you didn't necessarily play golf, but you were around golf for several decades. What advice would you give to parents for their juniors?
Well, I would say we'll be there, but these parents are here. I would also say lighten up because, golf isn't everything. in 10 years, what really will matter? What matters is your character and how you treat people, and how you, as I mentioned last night, you see a need and fulfill it. You plant seeds of kindness, and you keep yourself informed. You read a lot, and you make sure you know what's going on in this world on all sides. What advice would I give parents? Well, a lot of times I felt that it was important to keep my mouth shut. And I know your dad wasn't as good at that as I was, but I do remember one, if you don't mind me revealing this event.
Oh boy.
I remember once when you were young, and I can't remember how old you were, but I was following you on the course, and I was cheering you on. Yay, Tommy! Every time you came off the hole, I'd say, that was great. You did a good job. And you weren't having a good game. It wasn't a good day. And finally you looked at me and said, Mom, stop being so positive all the time. And so then I thought, I don't even know what to say anymore. But I think more than anything, it's be there and be supportive, and realize that in 10 years, what matters is not your score, but what matters is how you treat people, how kind you are, and your leadership skills, how you see what's going on, and you work to any problems that need to be solved, you're going to solve that problem. And that's what Tim Nettles was all about.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, and I may have thanked you for this in the past, but I will now. I knew every time I was on the golf course as a junior golfer that when I got home, it didn't matter what I shot. It did matter how I acted, though, which I got pulled into the kitchen once or twice about how I acted. But I think it was such a freeing experience for me, knowing that the score, yes, of course, I wanted to play well. Everybody wanted to play well, but the score wasn't going to be what defined me at home. And I think that was a key element to my walk as a junior golfer.
Absolutely.
We had 72 student athletes in here last night, and one of the things we talk about internally is finding the next Tim Nettles, finding the next Diane Nettles, and the impact that they're going to make on the world. Did you have little glimpses of that at all over the last day?
Yes, I think, watching the students come in when they came in to sign in yesterday, and when they walk up to me or you, either one of you, look at me in the eye and say, thank you. Those two words are the two most important words that you can ever speak. So I did see, and I still am seeing, these student athletes, these young people are our leaders of tomorrow, and I'm very hopeful for that. And I did tell them last night, I hope that you walk out of here today with the knowledge that, okay, I may have played my best round of golf, I might not have, but I'm going to walk out of here and change this world one good deed at a time.
Another mic drop.
Absolutely.
We, I know you're able to do this on the spot anytime we need. However, I also know that you spend 365 days a year preparing, thinking about the next message. I get messages from you every month of the year talking about the next conversation at the next 10 event. And this event wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for you. You've been the most generous to the organization out of any of our generous friends, which we're gonna continue to build our community in a big way. And again, you've been the rock of that community. So thank you personally from the two of us, and on behalf of 72 young people that are about to go experience Laurel Valley today. Thank you for making this what it is. Truly special.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you.
Well, we're fired up. We're fired up to get back on the golf course, to see positive generational impact where youth are leading in golf. They're all leading in education and leading in faith. And we're so excited to get out there and watch the action today. We're also excited to be back with you again next time on For the One.
So we talked a little bit about the village of people that it takes to put together a special event like this at Laurel Valley. And we want to take a quick moment before we close today to thank a couple of people who have helped make this possible. Our friends at PGT Trucking, the Conroy family at Isley's, and the Cleveland brothers. We couldn't have this event without your generous opportunity to fuel the mission. A lot of people have told us, well, what is it like to get involved here at the 10 Memorial? We call that owning the mission, and fueling that mission is just one part of what it takes to make this possible year-round, not just events like this. To everyone else who has chosen to give or to serve the mission, we couldn't do it without you.